Collective. Let's start with some deep breaths. I'm going to start us off with some affirmation. It's been a lot. But there has also been a lot of rest. There has also been a lot of peace. There has also been a lot of feelings of liberation and having more freedom and feeling the freedom. We did it. It is a very special message to a lot of us. We did it. You have done the inner work. You've gotten yourself to this point and you did something about it. I want to share something with you guys, some things that I have been, while you are still focusing in on those deep breaths. I want to share something. There are some things that I made a list, okay, that I have been practicing on. Obedience, listening, showing and giving love, and a lot of it, even to the ones who bully you. Fellowship, speaking honestly and openly, that has been heavy for me. Being more patient with myself, and these are things that I have written down that I have been practicing on since, I want to say, since Aries season started, and since then I have been in this flow of discipline and heavy on obedience, heavy on discipline. I believe that I have been in separation for as long as I can remember, for a bigger reason. And in receiving a lot of these messages and downloads for us, this has been very special to me and my journey. It has been very special for me because these messages have been coming to me very heavily, and the messages that I've been getting lately, I've never felt it like this before. And what I mean by that is that I've never, it is very deep. Like you get into certain messages and you're just like, damn. I didn't think that I was capable of seeing it in that way, right? And I suppose that when we put ourselves in a position where we are able to think freely, you know, when you just sit there and you daydream and you just let your mind wander, you let your mind free, and you welcome in the good, and you welcome in the positivity, and you let the rest go, because the rest actually isn't going to help you, and it hasn't really given you the service, and it hasn't really provided for you. So you just got to let that stuff go, and then allowing the good and the positivity in. When we let our mind free, right? Just like when we are sitting, meditating, 333 on the timestamp, we let our mind free, and we drop into our body and letting our breath move in and out of our body and our system, right? When our mind is just flowing in the direction that it's supposed to, when our body is in the momentum and the pace that it's supposed to be in, okay? With all 7 chakras aligned, we are able to really sink into our own essence, our own sense of energy that we have missed out on for years, right? Because we are not taught to really sit in our power and really getting to know our power. So lately, we have been, especially in Taurus season, Taurus season has been about exposing a whole lot of truth, 444 on the timestamp, and the truth is and has been very harsh, and it has been very heavy, but perhaps it also has been very necessary. Necessary in a way that needs to be released from our system because it is not giving us the service. It is not providing for us in any way. Releasing and getting to the bottom of the truth and exposing the truth, because it has been in our system for way too long. It has been in our system for years. And while our truths have been hidden from us for so long, that has been the burden that we have been carrying with us for so many years that we didn't even know was there. And so I'm getting like, we are in peace, and a whole lot of it now, stepping into Gemini season. We are in balance. We are in the year of 8, which is balance. Okay, I'm reminded to tell us that. Some significance here, justice, and a whole lot of that in Taurus season. I feel collectively justice has been the theme. Okay, bringing back justice, creating space to breathe. 10 of Swords. This has been about marking your legacy. This has also been about appreciating your service, appreciating yourself, if you will, appreciating yourself and the service that you do, whatever that means for you and how that's been looking like in your life. All right. It has been about balance. It has been about forgiveness. P. Diddy is asking for forgiveness, finally. It has been about peace. It has been about liberation and freedom. It has been about, I'm hearing compensation. And when I mean balance, it means us really deserving to have our justice. Okay, I have temperance. What I mean balance is like coming back to feeling more of that innocence and that purity, and allowing ourselves to have more of that in our life. And, because I'm getting like, there has been a lot of healing, and there has been a lot of exposing. And through healing, have we been exposing a lot of that injustice, abuse, narcissism, bullies, evil doing, exposing evildoers, exposing bullies, exposing unjust, and whatever situation or circumstance that may look like in your life. We have been exposing trauma. We have been speaking about our trauma, and we have been even more expressive about our trauma. We have been exposing a whole lot of what was hidden from us through silence, whether this would be within the family, secrets and hidden secrets within the family, if you will. We have been collectively exposing a whole lot of our truths that we have been holding on to, that we couldn't speak of for years. And this is what I mean by like, through silence, we have been bullied for way too long. And we have been keeping this silent for years. And a lot of that was exposed in Taurus season. Right? I keep coming back to the whole Cassie and P. Diddy situation. P. Diddy now is repenting and asking for forgiveness, right? Years and years of abuse that he had put on Cassie, all of the pressure, right, that he had put on her, and all the while she was fucking high the whole time that this was going on. Okay, I feel the need to do a Cassie and P. Diddy reading, like a separate reading, but anyway, this has been about forgiveness. Exactly. This has been about what it has been like behind closed doors and keeping everything silent and being so shameful about the things that we couldn't speak about. Feeling the shame that comes with that, feeling the guilt that comes with that, right? Coming back to feeling more lighter and coming back to feeling like we're able to breathe now. And even if we are exposing the truth, and even if we are speaking of the truth, we are now feeling even more lighter and brighter, stepping out of it. 11:11 on the timestamp. Stepping out of the pain that we have endured. If you have been one who have been bullied for so long, who have been bullied for so many years, and you have been keeping this silent, you have been keeping this to yourself for years, you know, that too was exposed in Taurus season. I am reminded to tell us that while all of this was hidden and while all of this was kept a secret for so many years, you choosing to heal, collective, you choosing on the healing journey, it had only pushed you to speak it out. It had only really pushed you to express it all out and to release it all out of your system, because where else are you going to put it? If we just keep on bottling it in, if we just keep on keeping it in, it isn't actually going to help us either, right? It is only going to harm us physically, and it's going to catch up to us physically. And also, what I want to mention, a lot of us also has been sick in Taurus season. A lot of us all of a sudden just got really sick, whatever that means for you in your life. You may have experienced and witnessed somebody all of a sudden getting really sick, right? And it only really means that this has been a lot of suppressed emotions and emotional pain that we've been holding on to in our body, in our system, that we didn't know was there. When our body has been suppressed for way too long, and when we have been silenced for way too long, and finding yourself to be expressing for the first time in years, you don't actually realize the pain and the trauma that you have endured until you step out of that situation and you're away from that person who abused you. It's just like Cassie, right? She was high the whole time. She is, imagine where she is right now and having in her healing journey. Imagine where she is right now and having to heal a lot of that trauma that she has endured. Your mind hasn't actually processed it all yet. You know, when you lose a loved one, you go through the 7 stages of grief, right? You go through the stages. Sometimes we aren't even conscious about which stage we're on. We're still in denial. And so imagine for some of us who have been holding on to so much trauma and holding on to so much pain, and this healing journey, we don't actually realize how much we have endured until we release all of that, and until we release all of that out of our system, and the weight that comes with that release. It's a lot. But that is only going to lead us back to having more balance. And I suppose that in order for us to step into balance, and in order for us to have more balance in our life, we gotta come back to loving yourself, accepting yourself, loving yourself, and having more practicing on self-soothing, understanding yourself in a spiritual way and not just what you can do for yourself in a physical level, we don't actually realize that the very thing that actually is bringing us down, oh wow, balance, bottom of the deck. We don't actually realize what is weighing us down and what is making us feel so exhausted is the lack of spiritual nourishment, the lack of spiritual knowledge, right? We don't actually realize that what we have been missing out on this whole time while we have been holding on to so much of this pain and so much of this trauma is the lack of spiritual nourishment. And we don't actually get to experience this spiritual nourishment until we give ourselves a chance to sit with ourselves and away from society. And sometimes that is the very thing that we need to do. But they don't tell us that very often. We don't really hear this, right? And for our extroverts, right? We are one to socialize and understand yourself through people. But have we actually given ourselves a chance to come back inside and gotten to know who we are and not who we are through people? Okay, that's a heavy message, and that's very interesting that came up. Some numbers, significance, the number 22. Okay, a lot of you guys have been seeing that number 22. That is a very significant number in your life, okay? That has been following you. I'm getting that has been following you for years. Also, angel number 555, okay? I wonder if that is, I want to read to you guys. If it's not, it's okay. I will. I don't think, excuse me, guys. It may be in my other, here it is, numerology, number 5, conflict, struggle, challenges. I also want to mention that 555 for me is like going through a lot of changes and a lot of shifts, okay? Like significant changes in your life, right? It could also mean that you have been having difficulties. You have been finding yourself in very challenging experiences. You have been in, the universe has been presenting to you a very challenging obstacle, okay, is what I'm getting here. All right. I want to mention also to our subscribers, I would like to mention that I have been reading your comments. All right, whether it's a collective reading or a sign, whatever that is, I want to mention that I have been reading you guys' comments, and I know that I don't reply right away, but that is because I am taking it all in, and I like to take my time and having to read them, right? Sometimes I even screenshot the long ones, and I appreciate you guys who comment on it, comment on the videos, and you sharing your experience, you sharing your insights, and it's beautiful, and I appreciate you guys so freaking much. But I wanted to mention that I know I don't reply right away, but I want to let you know that I read them very slowly and I pace myself with them, and it's because I'm taking it all in, and it's a lot for me to process it all, okay? Thank you. For our bullies, for the ones who have been bullied, okay, I was getting the reference, the movie Hercules, the animated Disney movie Hercules. You know that part when he was still young, before he went through his training, and he was teased about how different he was. You know, he wasn't like an average kid. He wasn't your average Joe, right? And you know that scene where those two boys were teasing him and making fun of him? And in that moment, he felt out of place, right? And he started noticing how different he was from the rest of the kids. He started noticing something was wrong with him. He started thinking something was wrong with him. And so he went to Zeus, which is his father, right? For guidance. He went to Zeus for guidance. And at the end, he presented Pegasus, right? And then in the end, he says, "You are a true hero," right? And then he went off somewhere, right? With Pegasus. He got on Pegasus and then they flew somewhere, okay? And when Zeus said, "You are a true hero," for some of you who have been bullied for so many years, and you have been thinking to yourself, like, why am I like this? Why have I been not connecting so much with so many kids? Why have I not so many people, right? Why have I not been in connection? And why am I like this? Like, you have had to question yourself for so many years. Why am I so different from the rest? And why am I not getting along with so many people? You have started to notice even more that you are different from the rest. You are starting to notice more that you don't have the same language as everybody. Like, you don't speak like the average Joe. You don't think like the average Joe. You don't behave like the average Joe. You don't do the things that they do, and you don't go about your life doing the same things that they're doing. And in the movie Hercules, he found himself to be different from the rest, right? And he wanted to prove to himself that he wasn't what everyone thought he was. And he wasn't, because he is a child of God. He's a child of Zeus, right? 2222 on the timestamp. He realized that he is different from the rest, and he proved it. He proved it to everybody. Meanwhile, everybody was making fun of him. Everybody was teasing him. This guy isn't what he actually says he is, right? That's what everybody has been saying, whispering to each other and teasing him and slandering his name and putting a bad rep on his name, right? But when he went into training, right, he found his trainer, and when he went into training, he wanted to prove himself. He stumbled upon different creatures, right, fighting off different monsters. Like in the part where he was in the arena, right? And he was in battle with the 3-headed monster, I believe. And there were a crowd of people in the audience, right? And all of a sudden they were like, whoa, shocked. This isn't actually the person I thought he would be. This isn't actually the person I thought he was. He has now proven to himself that he is different from the rest. He is built to be different. He is a child of God. He is a child of Zeus. He is meant to be different. He is meant to save the world. He is, in fact, a true hero. And he had proven that not only to the people in the audience that were watching him fight off this 3-headed monster that he fucking demolished, dude, but he proved to himself that while he was being teased by these boys, while he was being teased by so many people, he proved to himself that he was a lot stronger than he thought he was. Right? When he had that talk with Zeus, when he came to Zeus for guidance, right? Zeus told him that you are meant to do different things. You are, in fact, not supposed to be like the rest. You have a mission here. You have a mission. And for a lot of you, I'm talking to our chosens who have been bullied for so many years, and you know that you have been bullied for so many years. You know what this looks like to you, and you know the feelings that came with this. You know the pain that you have endured from it, and you have been taking that in, and you have been silent about it for so many years. And you are now seeing yourself as this true hero. And everybody now is looking at you like in awe, shocked. This isn't actually the person I thought I said they were, right? Some of you guys' bullies are feeling dumb right now. They are feeling dumb right now. Some of you guys' bullies are going, why did I think this way? Why did I ever treat this person this way? Why did I ever choose to be a bully to this person who didn't deserve it, right? And now you're showing everybody, collective. I'm so proud of you. Woo! You have proven to yourself that you are, in fact, but you didn't have to prove anything. You just needed to be yourself. You were just being yourself, right? Everybody just had a different lens, right? They had a different lens than you. You don't actually see the world like everybody does. And it's not your fault. Meanwhile, these people in the background are looking at you and laughing at you and teasing you and saying all kinds of things about you and putting a bad rep on your name and saying all kinds of things about you and spreading information and spreading all kinds of rumors to people who is none of their business anyway. And now your bullies are looking at you now. I'm getting like some of you, your face is on a billboard. Your face is on a magazine. You could be a model, right? You could be an entrepreneur. Your face is now on a magazine, and your bullies are looking at you like, wow, I was wrong about this person. Now I feel stuck. Now I feel dumb. I feel stupid. They feel dumb for even thinking that you aren't this person that you say you are. You might have been this person who had, was always speaking the truth and always speaking from your heart. And when you speak to them, it might have sounded like very foreign. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. And you sound fucking crazy and psycho. And I don't know who you think you are, right? Why you're saying these things, right? You might have been that person who experienced that, and somebody had told you that, like, why are you talking like this? But to you, it's just like how you think. That's just how you're wired. That's just how you're built to be. Perhaps because you have a mission here on earth, and you have a mission to do. You were chosen. And you were built this way, collective, and you were chosen to play a role. And this is Hercules. He is a true hero. He is built to, play this role for society. He was exposed to the rest of society, and he wasn't what everyone thought they were saying about him. So when he started training, when he got super big and strong, right? He now proved to everybody that he is this strong person that he said he was. I'm going to prove to everybody that I'm not what they think I am. I am better. I am stronger. I am even more capable. But like I said, he didn't have to prove anything. He was just built that way. He's a child of God. He's a child of Zeus. He's meant to be different from the rest. He's built this way. So if you were the one who had been bullied for so many years, right? And you have been taking on this mission, you have been rooted in your purpose, and you have just been keeping on and keeping up with your purpose. I'm so proud of you, collective. you have done a great job. You just keep on going. I heard this girl, and I was watching her video, and she had said, you know that God's children, they're very nice. They're very nice, especially when they know they're being confronted by their bully. They don't do harm. They don't even think about harming anybody, right? So I'm talking to somebody here who has been bullied, and not just once, and not just twice. And you might have also really experienced a very brutal bully, like brutal cruelty. You know, to you, it felt like this is going way overboard, right? And to you, you were probably thinking like, I should do something, I should say something, but you kept it to yourself and you had a lot of self-control. There is a reason why, collective, you had a lot of self-control. There is a reason why you have held on to a lot of that self-control. You were built differently. You're not going crazy. You aren't, in fact, going crazy when you thought that, you know, people were saying all kinds of things to you and you thought to yourself, man, I'm going crazy. Maybe they're right. Like, you were even having doubts about yourself, collective. You were even having doubts about yourself, right? But you weren't crazy. You're not crazy. You in fact followed your inner voice. That's what's important. Okay? You in fact followed what your inner guidance was telling you, your spirit team, to keep your peace. You were keeping it to yourself for a reason. And it wasn't like you had thoughts about harming people. It wasn't that you were wanting to harm them, even though you knew how aggravated you were inside and how much of that fire and that rage was built up and was pent up inside of you. But you still followed the inner voice, and you meant no harm while everybody else was bullying you brutally. And now you're in this season today, collective, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be, exactly who you should be, exactly in the position that you are in. You know yourself to be exactly who you are. You actually didn't need to really speak up about it at the time. And perhaps there was a bigger reason why you didn't speak about it. Number 11 could be of significance here. And there's probably a reason why you didn't speak up about it at the time. Okay? It was protecting you. You were being protected. There was no reason for you to go and seek revenge on these bullies. That's not what our God's children do. If you are God's child, right? If you consider yourself to be a child of God. We are, in fact, very nice and sometimes way too nice. But perhaps you are not one to think about harmful things and to even think about harming anybody. That's not in your mind at all. You are not one to seek revenge. You are not one to harm anybody, because why would you? Why would that even be a thought? So while everybody was teasing you and everybody was bullying you and slandering your name and all kinds of things, they're just making you popular, just like Hercules. They made Hercules popular just by talking about him. Just by saying his name. Hercules, 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 Hercules. You are Hercules. You are a true hero. You have proven to yourself that you actually do not need to prove to yourself, because you just knew that you were built different. And you are now in this season providing, being of service. You are now a public speaker. You are now an advocate. You are now a counselor. You are now a therapist. You are now somebody who is helping a mental illness. You're an advocate for mental illness, right? You are an advocate also for hate and crime and discrimination. I keep coming back to public speaker. You are a public speaker. You are a healer of some sort. You are finding yourself to be you may even be one becoming a lawyer, right? You're taking on a very important, authoritative role. And perhaps it's because you're built to be one. And so while everybody else looked at you like you're some dummy, while everybody looked at you like you were some loser, right? Like you don't amount to anything, you were actually very valuable. We need you. We needed you. You actually make this place a better place just by existing, right? You are different from the rest for a reason, because you are to speak of and for humanity. You are to speak for humanity. You are an advocate for humanity. You are a humanitarian, right? You are to speak for our generation, if you will. You are, I'm getting a lot on healer, getting Cancer here, Cancer energy. It's funny because I just did Cancer reading. You are a person who bring a lot of balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. You bring balance to all collectively, okay? Something about March, very significant here, that happened to you in March, okay? I feel the need to say that. Collective. Here's another one that I had written down. The sins of our fathers fall on our children. That is a heavy, significant message. I want to bring that up before I wrap this up. And then I want to read you guys a verse. Proverbs 3, verse 30. Quarrel not with a man without cause, with one who has done you no harm. I'm going to leave that to you. That was a channeled message. Spirit wanted me to read that to you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here and hanging out with me and tuning in. If you would like a personal reading, all of my information will be down in the description box below. And thank you for your support and your love and your strength and your endurance and your support. I will see you in the next. Take care. We are in Gemini season, bringing in more peace and a lot of self-love and appreciating yourself for what you have done and what you have accomplished. I love you. I'll see you in the next. Bye.